today's wrestling news, a top AEW star is headed to WWE.
NXT scores its highest rating in 3 years with over 1 million viewers.
Edge has been removed from the WWE roster, sort of.
And the official all-in attendance has been confirmed. I'm Adam Wilborn.
And I'm Phil Chambers.
And this is the news.
All right, straight into it. A top AEW star might be headed to WWE. Now, this is coming from the good guys over at Fightful Select.
Hey.
No crap, just sap. So, Jade Cargill is the person. She returned on Collision last week, and then on Dynamite last night, it was announced that her match against Chris Statlander, the rematch for the TBS title, was going to be on Rampage this week. Now, spoiler alert, if you don't want to know Rampage results, skip like 20 seconds, but Chris Statlander beat her clean.
Good.
Don't tell anyone. This turns out could be Cargill's last tapings before headed to WWE. Now, Fightful Select are reporting that there hasn't been, they haven't heard of an official offer from WWE, but sources both in AEW and in WWE both believe that she is headed over to WWE. Now, they also don't know how long is left on her contract, but Cargill has been obviously a huge part of AEW since she debuted in November 2020. And then obviously there was...
Well, we all remember that debut.
Yeah, we do. And then the whole Shaq match, and then she won the TBS title, the inaugural TBS champion.
Yes.
And then she had a 63-match winning streak with that, lasting over 2 years before she finally lost to Chris Statlander. So she's been a huge part of AEW. They've put a lot of effort into her push. And then bye-bye.
Yeah.
Off she goes.
Look, they're going to get a huge get for WWE in my opinion, and I think they're going to be fantastic at presenting Jade Cargill.
She's a great fit for WWE.
As a star,
Great
yeah. It's not been confirmed, but all signs do point to it. Disregarding, reports, and we know how great Fightful Select are at getting these things from sources within companies. I think the most clear example of that was she returns on Collision, that huge reaction. She gets this great video package on Dynamite, and you're like, here we go, baby. Where are you doing the rematch? Arthur Ashe next week? Are you saving it for Wrestle Dream? Are you going to put it on Collision, maybe? Rampage. What?
Oh no!
I think that's a real sign of what AEW also thinks of Rampage. Hide her away on Rampage if she's leaving.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a shame for AEW because, like you say, they have really established her as a star.
Yeah.
It was weird that she just sort of lost and disappeared, obviously.
Yeah.
But good that they've got the rematch at least to really establish what a champion Chris Statlander is.
Yeah, this is true.
But yeah, just to reiterate what we said, really, I think Jade Cargill has always felt quite WWE.
Yes, definitely.
And yeah, I'd arguably say just do the streak again with her in WWE.
Yeah, why the hell not? Just repeat it all over again, but with sort of the WWE production. I think they'd turn her into an even bigger star than she already is already. She did have a tryout with WWE before she went to AEW.
Of course,
she said on the Jericho podcast that the issue they had was that she didn't need wrestling, whereas a lot of other people that they were looking at sort of needed wrestling and were going to make it her life. She didn't need it, but I think she's since then proved that she's ready to put her all into wrestling, especially with everything that she did in AEW. So she's definitely changed some minds over there.
And we just, before we came in here, had a great booking idea suggested by one Michael Hamflet.
Yeah.
Which is that Jade Cargill is revealed as the trade that Cody's got with the whole Jey Uso thing, which I think could be really good, actually. Yeah. Either that, or maybe she'll go to NXT for a bit.
Hello.
Which sounded like a backhanded compliment, but not anymore because that is doing great guns. I've been saying for ages it's the best wrestling show of the week, and now it's being proven in the ratings. We often don't do rating stuff because it's really boring and people get into stupid arguments about them online. But it's nice to celebrate when things do well, and that's exactly what happened with NXT this week. Turns out Becky Lynch and Tiffany Stratton, let's give her a due as well. Big draw. So, last night's NXT did 850,000 of a 0.26 on the 18 to 49 demographic, but that shot up when we got to the NXT Women's Championship match where Becky won the title, of course. It went to 927,000.28 during the final 15 minutes of the show, and the overrun did over 1 million viewers, a 0.31. That is Fantastic for NXT. The 850k average as well. The show's largest demo since September of 2020. The first, so the highest in 3 years. The 9th highest demo in the show's history. And just reiterates something that we've sort of seen with NXT bubbling under the surface. This slow growth. It went a bit off the rails. 2.0, not in my opinion. 2.0 was goated. But went a bit all over the place. Then it went rebranded back to NXT, and I think it's just been a great show.
It's been NXT's better than AEW.
It's going to be very interesting when the ratings come out tonight for Dynamite. Don't go on social media, basically. Variety reporting in June, ratings for NXT up 15% in 2023, and the 18 to 34 demo is up 50% compared to this time in 2022. Yeah, go back and watch NXT. It's great.
Yeah.
It really is great.
And Becky Lynch.
It's got like great wrestling on there. Becky, Tiffany, people like Mello and Wesley and Ilya Dragunov and all that. And then you've just got insane things like Dijak attacking a tree. That happened, and it was great.
On the same show.
On the same show.
And
Tony D and Stacks, obviously, tag champ's great.
Yeah, who knew Becky Lynch was a draw, eh?
Yeah.
It worked. This experiment of anyone asking why you would put main roster stars down on NXT. This is why. Because it lets people know that it exists and gets people watching it. And the experiment absolutely worked. And I guess this means, who else has been down there? So he's a bigger draw than Corbin, bigger draw than Dirty Dom, unfortunately.
Bigger draw than Edge.
Bigger draw than Edge.
I think
Becky Lynch is a bigger draw than Edge.
Yeah, but well, we'll circle back to this. We've got a really good Twitter question about using main roster stars on NXT, and I don't know, the war coming back. Who knows?
Who knows?
But you don't have to pick a side sometimes if you like your wrestling content. Sometimes you can just subscribe to new channels, so you can watch not just the podcast. But, we don't just get the podcast now. You get to watch us and all of the guests that we have on that podcast as well.
You get to see what Stacks looks like.
I'm so sorry. Go and subscribe. It links there, and then we'll be doing more teasers and stuff going forward.
I'll put a link in the comments as well, but youtube.com/WhatCulture Wrestling Podcast. Go subscribe. It is coming soon. There will be many more announcements on its way, so watch this space.
But what is going on with Edge? Because I was on socials last night, and I was very confused, because he was on the roster page, and he was off the roster page, and he was back. What's going on?
Yeah, so this is coming from PW Insider. He was on the roster page, and then he got removed from the WWE roster page, and everyone was like, oh, Edge has been removed, he's going to go to AEW, but then he got put back on to the WWE roster page. So he was on the normal section, he got removed, and now he's been put onto a miscellaneous section is what they called it, which is for stars that are signed, but they're not currently doing anything.
Yes.
With. So people like Steve Austin, Big E, Undertaker.
Get well soon, Big E.
Indeed, hell yeah. Undertaker, Titus O'Neil, and Braun Strowman. So people, sort of megastars that are signed that they're not doing anything with, but also people that are injured and they can't do anything with. Just the miscellaneous section that people that are there, but we can't do anything with.
Yeah.
And that's where Edge lives now.
For now.
So we'll have to wait and see where this goes. Obviously, there's been a lot of rumours about what Edge is up to since his last match that he had there in Canada. That great match against Sheamus. And then, is he AEW bound? Is he going to go back to WWE? Is he just going to go ride his mountain bike for a while?
Yeah.
Who the hell knows?
It certainly seemed like the speculation was, especially last night when when him got taken off the roster page, people were like, cool, so he's going to be Arthur Ashe next week then.
Yeah. It was thoroughly jumping to conclusions. But where do you want Edge to end up? What do you want him to do? Let us know down in the comments below. Same with Jade Cargill.
Indeed. Right. We've been putting it off for long enough. Let's talk about it. AEW's all in attendance. It's a load of bollocks. No, it's not. It's not. It's complicated, this, right? Because the paid attendance was what it was. The paid attendance. Yeah. But Twitter exploded last night because WrestleNomics, brilliant, the web place that it is. Shout out to Brandon Thurston, as always, who covers all this sort of thing and presumably just doesn't read the comments. Smart man. He got a public records request with Brent Borough Council. And according to that, the actual numbers registered entering Wembley Stadium for All In through the turnstiles was not 81,035, the big record-breaking thing they announced. It was 72,265. This is reflective of what attended on the night and not the total of number of tickets sold or no shows, etc. 81,035 was the big number that was announced by Nigel McGuinness. WrestleTix actually confirmed that 83,000 had been distributed. So now the biggest event in wrestling history is, I think, I'm confused by this, and I don't want to get into arguments with people online. I think is mostly correct for the paid number, but now WrestleMania 32 probably had more people in the building. But surprise, surprise, wrestling companies lie about their numbers.
Yeah.
Or inflate them. Let's not say lie.
I mean, Tony Khan's big thing leading into this was that he's doing the actual numbers. So it's a little, I guess that's where the sort of Twitter outrages come from, and why people are like, you lying bastard. Because he flat out basically said that he was going to do the real numbers. But it is still the real numbers.
Yes.
If that's how many tickets were bought. Like, if 10,000 people just decide to not show up that day, that's not Tony Khan's
Or someone just chose to buy 10,000 tickets to inflate the number. I'm just asking questions.
Daddy, can I have some tickets?
I'm just asking questions here, guys. We don't know anything about this. I think I saw Meltzer talking about potentially, 8 to 10% of sort of tickets bought, potentially no shows being in the realm of that.
Yeah.
Speculation on whether it's scalpers.
That is the other thing. It was a tough one if scalpers went like, oh, this is going to be a hot ticket, let's buy all of these, and then they found out that they're putting the entire venue on, and some of the tickets were only 30 quid, so they weren't exactly expensive, so why would you go to a scalper ticket when you can get an actual ticket for 30 quid?
Yeah.
So maybe that's a big part of it. There's a lot of ifs.
It just makes a lot more sense, because I was watching it on telly, and I saw the top areas, and I thought, and I've watched boxing events there, and God, was a bit like, what's happening here then?
Yeah.
Because it's huge and it looked incredible. I was very jealous not to be there. But there was a bit in my mind of like, that 81,000 does seem a bit iffy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they still sold that amount of tickets. It's just that 73,000 people actually, or 73,000 people actually showed up. 72,265.
Doesn't really matter which number you take, it's still an incredible achievement when you consider that their last biggest show was 20,000 and this is a hell of a step up.
Well, you say that, it doesn't really matter. It does matter if you get that number tattooed on you first.
Yeah, it does matter.
Sorry, Will Ospreay, there was a video, I think he tweeted something and deleted it. He's got obviously that 81,000 number tattooed on his arm. It's really simple, this. It's a man who's got a lot of tattoos.
Yeah, you just
don't cover it up. Don't get rid of it. Just have because he's got it like there, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Just have 81,035, the little asterisk. Just add an asterisk. That can't be too. I feel like even I could get an asterisk tattooed on me.
So funny though. So funny.
As you say, just wait.
Just wait a little bit, figure it out. But no, it was paid. People paid 81,000 tickets.
Yeah.
So
you were asking about where you want to see Edge and Jade Cargill end up. I sense the comment section isn't going to be talking about that today.
But speaking of that comment section, let us know what you think about this AEW thing down in the comments below. It should be interesting.
Yes. Let's move on to the Twitter questions, which I got from before this story dropped, because I sense they're going to be dominated by this going forward in coming days.
Yep.
First question today comes from Kenny, who says, what would you think about a general rule of Dynamite opening with the International Championship every week consistently, easy for me to say. AEW opening with wrestling stuff is a contradiction to WWE's recap/promo intro segments. I don't know whether that's a good idea to have a hard and fast rule of that always opening.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I think, they obviously found money with the Orange Cassidy open, because he was opening Dynamite for a long ass time, and it was great. And even his opening promos is like really funny and something completely different to what goes on in WWE. But I wouldn't have a hard and fast rule about one thing opening the show every week, because then
makes sense with Mox in Ohio last night.
Yeah,
Cincinnati,
absolutely. And there's definitely a time and there's definitely a place, and it definitely mixes it up from the normal WWE opening promo stuff. But you've got to have the option to do lots and lots of different things, because otherwise your shows just get formulaic. And you end up with it'd just be the AEW opening match would be exactly the same as the WWE opening promo. It's just that's the thing you do, and that's what gets boring. Yeah,
exactly. And if it was you had something you needed to address at the top of the show, you wouldn't be like, right, we'll get the IC International Championship match out of the way,
and then
just
go in.
Yeah, but I do think they made the right decision played out by the ratings, arguably, of having that constantly do it, and especially last night. A bit of an all over the place show last night's done. We'll talk about it later. What Culture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcast from. Obviously, Miller's going to be here with ups and downs and his iffy mental state, let's be honest. I've been watching it recently. He had a chat between Puppet, him, and a giraffe.
Yeah. I think he's maybe slightly losing his mind slowly.
There's too much wrestling on for him to watch.
There's
He's not
too
getting enough
much
sleep,
wrestling.
that boy.
His brain is boiled with
But
wrestling.
yeah, what I was going to say, sorry, the Orange Cassidy Hooks thing last night
Yeah.
was great. Anyway, moving on. Next question comes from the brilliant Mimi Burris. Thank you, Mimi, as always, for your question. Good morning, guys. Welcome back, Adam Wilborn. Thank you very much. Who has the best moonsault in pro wrestling?
Oh, hello. So I am gonna go with Kurt Angle
Oh, yeah.
because he just threw himself into that one, and I'm mainly thinking not probably the one that broke Bob Holly's arm that night, not either one, but like every time he did it off the cage.
Yeah, I was going to
holy
say, he
hell.
didn't care how high he was.
Did not care. He jumped off the cage and went higher. Like when most people would jump down and backwards, he just went straight up, and his form through it all was just absolutely perfect all
Yeah.
the way around. Loved it.
Yeah, I feel bad now saying this because I think you know the stuff he's put his body through, he deserves that acknowledgement. But I'm a huge fan right now of Tiffany Stratton's prettiest
Stratton.
moonsault ever. I think it's a great moonsault, and B, she just come on leaps and bounds. This is another reason why you should be watching NXT. You get to
Yeah.
see these stars develop in front of your eyes. People like Tiffany Stratton who.
She's got the prettiest Swanton Bomb ever as well.
Yes.
Swanton Bomb is ace.
And I know she's just dropped the title to Becky, but I think that means big things for her in the future. And I just love her character. It's been tweaked really interestingly since she arrived, but only slightly. And it's all well and good having that sort of a character, but at the end of the day, as with many things, the bell's going to ring at some point. You have to back it up, and I think she does. So I want to give her her flowers right now. But thanks for everything you did, Kurt Angle. It's really good. Final question today. It comes from Brian George. Brian says, good morning, guys. With Dynamite going up against NXT in October, I'm sure we all expect NXT to go as hard as possible. I wouldn't be surprised to see Cody Rhodes on the show. Do you think they'd go as far as
That'd be
bringing
hilarious.
Roman Reigns in as well?
I
The
don't
war's back, everyone!
I don't think they bring Roman Reigns to NXT, as hilarious as that would be. But putting Cody head to head against Dynamite would be so funny. They kind of have to do that now.
So wait a second, NXT on Tuesday night did, I know it's a .26, 850,000.
Yeah.
That's kind of in the realm of what
That's
Dynamite's been doing.
Definitely in the realm of Dynamite.
Oh, God. Here we go again.
Putting Cody head to head against Dynamite, it'd be such a funny move.
Yeah. Don't put Edge on it if you've got him, AEW,
Yeah,
at that
that
point,
didn't
because that
work.
clearly didn't work.
Definitely didn't work. Maybe have Jade Cargill debut on that show.
Oh, yeah, just put everyone oh. I don't think they're going to put Roman on NXT.
No.
But Cody.
Cody would be very funny. I love that idea. Love it. They have to do it.
Oh, God. Twitter's going to be a nightmare today, isn't it? Anyway, let us know your thoughts on everything in the comments section.
What's your
below.
favourite, AEW or WWE?
At WhatCulture WWE on X. You can follow him on X
At Fill My Chambers, and you can follow him on X.
at Adam Wilborn. Thanks for joining us. Be nice. We'll see you soon.
Bye.